Everybody Matters statement is critical to building a family violence system that is able to identify and respond to family violence.
So it's about each person who comes in the door being met with the same level of dignity, respect and access to service.
When you include everybody in the strategies that you make, you're showing everyone that every single person matters, everybody and every diversity matters in this space.
To minimize the family violence or to keep the women, children safe is a common responsibility. Everybody needs to be responsible to look after our community.
It is only within a human rights framework that we can have a meaningful engagement with diversity and intersectionality.
When we account for the diverse characteristics of each victim survivor, we give them the best possible chance of living a life free from violence.
If a group is invisible, those individuals don't matter, and those individuals are seen as somehow responsible for their own problems.
It's not easy for my culture to come to say I'm family violence because it's maybe not speak very well English, not to trust the interpreter.
For Aboriginal people, accessing culturally safe and appropriate services is important.
Failure to deliver accessible services for young people that reflect their specific needs can impact their safety and well-being and result in a cycle of violence into adulthood.
Some of the problems that older people typically face accessing family violence services is, first of all, they don't recognise that what they're experiencing is family violence.
Women with disabilities are twice as likely to experience violence as other women and experience more extreme forms of violence over a longer period.
Understanding intersectionality is incredibly important because it helps us to understand all the ways in which I might well have experienced discrimination and prejudice. It impacts on the way in which I might seek services. It might impact on the way in which I might even view certain behaviours as being violent.
Taking an intersectional approach to family violence is so important because one size does not fit all. We may be Aboriginal and LGBTI, we may be multicultural and LGBTI. Just understanding that we have more than one identity.
I hope that this statement will become a guiding framework that supports organisations to really embed meaningful inclusion and equity and an intersectional lens into their day-to-day practice. Whether that's meaningful co-design, prioritising the voice of lived experience, really supporting emerging lived experience workforce, recognising the ways in which lived experience is already a strength of the sector, and upholding and dignifying that so that when people walk in the door, their service experience is informed by an organisation's deep understanding of where they've come from and what their needs are.
Success for me would be eliminating the barriers, both the structural barriers and the attitudinal barriers that currently prevent services being able to respond effectively to the whole community. Why? Well, because everybody matters.
Everybody matters.
Everybody matters.
Everybody matters.
Everybody matters.